You guys happy to be home?
What?
Are you happy to be home?
Yeah.
Yeah? Well, welcome back everybody. What's up? Hope you guys enjoyed our recent little mini series. Well, make sure you check out the Whistler series too. That was pretty cool. We just took the Toyota Tacoma to Whistler with this trailer and then came back. I was home for like 2 days, went to work for a day, and then we took this whole setup with us. There will be like a walk around video of the whole setup. I really do think if you're looking to just like go somewhere and camp out, hike, mountain bike, anything that could fit in the back of the truck, like I took a paramotor with me, that this setup is freaking amazing. So today's plans for today's vlog, I need to like clean everything out, make sure it's all good to go. My plan is to talk to you guys about why I bought a rebuilt titled Raptor and what my plans are for it. If I think it's a smart idea to buy a rebuilt titled Raptor. Before we get into it, in the comment section below right now, before I say anything, let me know what is your opinion on buying rebuilt. Just what's your opinion, and then maybe at the end, maybe I'll sway your opinion. Maybe you think I messed up, or maybe you'll think that I got a pretty good deal. I don't know. We'll get into it, but first I gotta clean out this whole setup. There's so much stuff. The kids, my plan was to like never allow food in this thing, and well, it's already trashed. I know on paper cleaning up after my camping trip doesn't sound like the most exciting video, but I am super excited to be home. It's beautiful outside. Oh man, we've had nonstop rain. That's why we went camping. We're trying to get away from the crappy weather, and then of course it turns nice once we get here. But that's not all I'm doing today. The owner of Bean Trailer's coming by to pick this thing up. I'm gonna be doing a podcast with him, but based on how my last podcast did, I probably won't share it with my channel. It's gonna be for their channel, so don't freak out. Man, you guys did not like that. I like it. I think it's cool talking to the owners of companies, other entrepreneurs like myself. I think it's cool, but whatever. In other news, I might attempt to fly today. I blew a launch on our trip. It was super sketchy. Basically, these dudes were shooting like hunting rifles across my runway, right? Like I had it all set up and they showed up and started shooting these rifles. Sketched me out and I ended up crashing. It was kind of sucky. Here's the clip. Damn it, thought I could get over the hill.
I think we need to cut
Let's
our
get out of
losses.
here, man.
Yeah, these guys are already shooting.
I know, man. I should have backed up further. It's a bad setup. I'm trying to force it up. I don't like this.
No.
For now, let's get this truck cleaned out, get it all ready to go, get this trailer ready for the next guy. I guess it's going to Canada again to be passed off to someone else, and maybe we'll see it again, maybe we won't. I hope that you guys liked checking out the trailer as much as I enjoyed trying it. It's a cool way of overlanding for me. I haven't really gotten into it. I haven't tried it before, and I did enjoy it. It's fun. It presents a new set of challenges, that's for sure, but nothing that we couldn't overcome, and it was a lot of fun. All right, gave these two lovely ladies a real quick rinse, a little soap and rinse action. And I gotta go meet the owner of Bean and give this trailer back. But we can chat a little bit on the way. We can chat. All right, let's get out of here. I'm freaking hot. It's hot. Woo! All right, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, okay, why I thought it was a good idea to buy a salvaged Raptor. Well, here's the thing. Like I said earlier, it was planned. I planned on finding a salvage Raptor. So I did my research. I think that's super important. Don't just like go to a dealership and be like, oh wait, it's salvaged? That's, oh weird, okay, what does that even mean? And then buy it. You should know what you're getting into when you buy it. You should be okay with the fact that you're paying less, so it's worth less, so its resale value is less, and it's gonna be harder for you to sell. You have to be okay with all of those things before you go ahead and pull the trigger on a rebuilt titled vehicle. For me, I was okay with that. a little hesitant, but okay, eventually okay with that. So I had a little bit of experience doing this with these rebuilt vehicles. I did it with a Triumph Daytona that was stolen, crashed on both sides, spray painted. I paid like $1,000 for it, used it for a long time, had a ton of fun with it, and then was able to sell it for 3 or 4 times what I paid for it because I had it all fixed up and looking good. And so, you know, it's not always a guaranteed like bad idea to get a salvaged vehicle. It's just, you have to know what you're getting into and you have to be prepared for it and okay with it. For me, the biggest thing is the fact that I'm a YouTuber. Like that already, that statement puts me outside of the category of normal everyday person. For me, someone who pays for all of his toys by getting views on YouTube, even if this was a terrible like lemon, like I bought it and it just continuously breaks down, it's this huge big ordeal and I lose a bunch of money on it, that's all great content, to be honest, would more than likely pay for any losses that I would have taken. So I have that kind of thing going for me as like a good backup. And the other thing too is that as a 28-year-old, I wouldn't have been able to afford this truck brand new or even used unless I had a high mileage truck. Like I was looking at Raptors with 100,000 miles on it. Would I rather get something with 100,000 miles on it or something that had, you know, some side impact damage and was stripped, but only has 30,000 miles on it? So that's just sort of your personal opinion on what you think is going to be more reliable and what's going to be better for you. Me, I would rather have something low mileage. So this truck has 30,000 miles on it when I bought it, and I have already put over 1,000 miles into testing it with a lot of off-road miles, and it's held up really, really good. So I feel pretty confident that I made a good decision here. The alternative would have been wait 3-4 years to be able to afford this truck, buy it then, but it's no longer relevant. Nobody's watching Raptor videos on YouTube and it doesn't help my channel at all. And so that just didn't make any sense. Better to have it now, even if it is a little bit expensive for a rebuilt vehicle, better to have it now than to never have it when it matters. I don't want to go too crazy because my paramotor's in the back, but this thing is just unreal how it handles. Check this out. We'll just go here, you hit mode, hit it mode again. Now we're in sport mode. What that's gonna do is stiffen up the steering wheel a little bit, give me better throttle response. Woo! It's so fast. Here we go, check this out right here. Woo! So smooth. It's like you're floating on clouds, but going 100 miles per hour. Gosh, this thing is just insane. It's so much fun. It is like driving a sports car, but you have the utility of a bed and you have the visibility of a pickup, and then you have the off-road capability of, I mean, shit, a long travel truck. Like, it's honestly smoother and more fun to drive than my long travel Tacoma. And I put so much money and time into building that thing, and you can just get one of these from factory all fully built, and it's so freaking nice. Okay, made it to our favorite lunch spot. Gonna grab a quick bite to eat and hang out with these dudes, and then I'll continue to tell you the story of the Raptor. Well, it's a brand new day. I hate to do this. I hate starting a video and not finishing it in one piece because I don't really remember where I left off. But I had lunch with the Bean guys. They took the trailer. That trailer was sweet, by the way. We really enjoyed using it, and it was a good opportunity to test like both the towing capabilities of the Raptor, which it did really good. Of course, it's a small little teardrop trailer. We also got to sort of shake it down a little bit and see if there was any issues with it, since it does have a rebuilt title. So today we're talking about the truck's rebuilt title and how and why I was able to confidently buy this truck. I think I talked to you guys a little bit about knowing what you're getting into, planning on buying a rebuilt title. That's kind of what we did. And I want to continue to talk to you guys about those plans. And then I want to show you everything that I've noticed that is wrong with this truck right now for our own record, so you guys know what we're talking about. As a family, we've been cruising around in the Toyota Tacoma, and it's quite small. And as a family, we sort of just outgrew it. We needed more cabin space for sure. And then we also just needed more power because I'm towing side-by-sides and whatnot. And the Tacoma, although it can pull it off, it just doesn't do it very well. This isn't the best truck for towing. We didn't really buy it necessarily to be a tow pig, more or less a more enjoyable daily driver. It's gonna be a lot better for us on long trips when we're taking side-by-sides, and it's also just exciting, you know. One thing to keep in mind is that we're not really like normal people. We have a YouTube channel where we make a large portion of our income by entertaining people with an off-road and adventure-based channel. So something like this for us is more or less, I don't know if like a prop is the best word. We use it to create content, and so it's a little bit more justifiable in that sense. And we're not really worried about the long-term or the resale value because it's earning money for us on a regular basis, and it more than makes up for its difficulty to sell later on. Having a larger YouTube channel and a larger Instagram page will make it easier to resell this truck when the time comes, and I think we'll be able to get more money for it. For example, when I was considering selling the Tacoma, as it stands right now, we want to keep it. But when I was considering selling it, I was getting offers that were quite high, and I hadn't even listed it yet, and that was without fixing any of the issues or anything. And so it was apparent that it would be pretty easy to sell if we needed to. Ooh-wee. It's so comfortable and cozy in here. I'm like loving the interior. Yesterday I just went to Starbucks and I just sat in the parking lot. I connected to their Wi-Fi. I got some food first, and then just worked on my computer in here because it's kind of like a really nice mobile office. It's super comfortable, and we really enjoy it. I think though, when you guys see the damage report and everything that I've seen, you'll probably agree that we got a pretty good deal on it. So it has 30,000 miles. It has a rebuilt title due to vandalism, and there was some history of some kind of side collision. When I first contacted Kova Motorsports, or Kova Motor Co, or whatever they are, they told me that it had vandalism, and I later found it had vandalism after a side impact, but the side impact was pretty minimal. So the whole story, as far as I can tell, this truck received some sort of side impact damage. It went to a shop to get fixed, and at some point it was stripped and considered totaled, and it went to Coparts, where Kova spent $36,500 at auction to buy this truck. That's when they repaired it, and this is where it gets weird. Basically, this guy approaches them and says, I have all the parts for this truck all ready to go. I was going to buy it, so I bought up all the parts and offered to sell the parts to these guys. Well, it turns out it was like the exact parts that the truck was missing, like somehow exactly what the truck needed in the exact paint matched color, everything. So our assumption is that the guy selling the parts to Kova was the guy that stole the parts from this truck. So literally, this truck took a little small side impact. It went to a shop, had parts removed, considered basically which brand of the title, considered it totaled. They bought it up, and then the exact same parts got put right back on the truck, and the little dent was pulled, and that was it. That's all that happened to this truck. And that resulted in it being severely discounted. I mean, way discounted. I know there's deals out there. Like, you can get a Ford Raptor probably for like $56,000. There's different packages, and used, of course. These things are like 70 to 80. But this truck has every option available. I mean, almost every option available. I think the only thing I think of that it doesn't have is like tonneau cover that's like electronic, but it does have a tonneau cover. It has a carbon fiber accent. It has like lane keeping. It's everything. Cooled, heated seats. It's fully loaded, and I got it for $46,000. That's a pretty incredible deal with 30,000 miles, all because of the fact that somebody took the parts off the truck and somebody put the parts back on the truck. Now, of course, it's ultimately up to me whether or not I believe that story. But take a look at the pictures, and even if that story isn't true, look at the pictures and ask yourself if you would do the same thing. And let me know in the comment section below, because I am genuinely curious if you think I got a good deal, if you think I got like tricked or skunked, because I don't know. I went with my gut feeling on this one, and it definitely seemed like I got a pretty good deal. I think the dudes at Kova bought it. They thought they would flip it and make a really good profit off of it. Had a hard time finding anyone that was willing to spend that much on a rebuilt truck. And so the price slowly came down and down and down and down. As I was combing the internet for used Raptors, more specifically salvage titled Raptors, I watched this one come down from the 50s into the 40s and then just chipped away. And then eventually they were asking about 49, and I offered 45, and we landed at 46. So I do think that at a certain point they just wanted to wash their hands of it and break even. I saw the pictures of everything that was taken off of this thing, and of course they just bought those parts back and put them all back on and fixed up a few little minor issues, and it was good to go. So hopefully they still made a little bit of profit. They were nice dudes, so I don't want to like rip them off. I hope they got some profit out of it. But to me, pretty good deal, I think. One of the main reasons I do feel pretty good about buying this truck is because it was kind of my plan all along, which we had talked about. Not just the plan to buy a rebuilt titled Raptor, but I was contemplating buying a truck from Coparts and rebuilding it myself. Over the past 4 years doing this YouTube channel, I've learned a ton about off-road vehicles and just vehicles in general, and I've built up a ton of confidence in myself and my abilities to like rebuild a vehicle. So I was looking at these salvaged vehicles that are at Coparts. Now, the original plan, because I really wanted a Raptor and I couldn't afford one and I was not prepared to pay 80 grand on a truck, the original plan was to sell the Tacoma, use that money to buy a Coparts Raptor, and the remaining money to rebuild it and make it like a beast, just make it a super cool monster. The big downside of that is that, for one, lost the Tacoma, which a lot of people really wanted me to keep that thing. And two, I would not have had a working vehicle for a while, or a working truck. So I would have been stuck driving my mom's car that she gave us. And it's a pretty sad old car. Of course, this is the car that I'm talking about. My mom just wanted it off her property. It doesn't really have much value at all. The plan was to use this truck while we built a Raptor, but you guys wanted the Tacoma so bad. There was so much, I don't know, people were just upset that I was contemplating selling the Tacoma, and so I tried to come up with a new way to maybe have both somehow. Now, it's a little bit more of a financial stretch, which is why I'm calling on the audience to purchase merch, jump on Patreon, make sure you watch all the way through the videos. If you want to get super crazy, like don't skip the ads, that helps a ton. All those things help funnel income back into the channel so we can continue to do this. Like I've said before, we don't really try to fill our pockets from this channel. It's literally just, I want to just keep funneling all of the income back into itself to see how big it gets. The benefit to me is that not only do I get to do what I love, which is make videos, I get to do what I love while doing what I love, which is playing with cool toys. And so that's kind of the whole point of doing the channel for me. So I get to make videos of really fun and exciting stuff.
Billy! Who's your good boy? So good. Hey, you.
Another thing too is we kind of decided as a family that we wanted to spend more time traveling and exploring and making that kind of content of like getting out there and doing stuff. We wanted to do a lot more of that than just sitting in the shop working on stuff. Like I don't really want to build channel as much as we do that, and that's fine. I like building the things up and then showing you how we're going to use them, which we will do with this Raptor and with the side-by-side and stuff. But I didn't want like the next 4 months to just be non-stop Raptor videos of just building it. So finding someone that had already repaired one, gotten it to like a nice stock level, and sold it fairly inexpensive or fairly cheap was exactly what I was looking for, and it's exactly what we got. And so I'm pretty stoked. I hope that you guys are stoked too, that we are pulling it off and we're gonna have some really rad content. So let me show you what I know is wrong with this Raptor right now. After we've already put over 1,000 miles on it, we've done hours and hours of off-road trails and a bunch of really hard pulls with it, really shaking it down. It's been a lot of fun. But let me show you what I know is wrong. So first thing I noticed right off the bat, it's missing an antenna. There's a small windshield crack. And this is the side that took an impact. During that impact, like this was undamaged. So I don't know. Then we had this rocker panel here had a dent, and that stuff could have been something else. We don't know. As we swing around, there are some like scratches and stuff on these flares. I think these flares have been painted. I think they're normally black. There's some spots where kind of scuffed the paint, and underneath is like black plastic. I know that those were stripped off of the truck in the front as well, so they might have just gotten black ones and painted them to match. I don't know, but I don't really love the paint that's on those. But I'm also not too worried about it because the truck's already been like through some bushes and stuff and gotten some trail rub. One of the worst things that I've noticed, and it's hard to see, there's nothing really that bad. I mean, the truck's pretty darn clean. There's a small dent here. Like hard to tell though, but if you compare it to the other side, there's nothing there. There's a little bit of scratch and a dent, and it more or less looks like something like the previous owner had in the bed or something that just barely dinged that. There's also a door ding somewhere. I can never remember exactly where it is. I put all these new scratches in it. Whoops. There's a little door ding somewhere around here, but it's so minor that I can't even find it right now. Love that color. It looks so good in the sun. It's like a way lighter looking gray in the sun, and then when it's dark, it looks nice and dark and menacing. God, it's just such a good looking truck. There's also a little minor dent slash scuff thing there from like a rock. Nothing to worry about. And then inside, everything looks pretty damn new inside. There's one big fat scratch on the door panel over there. I honestly don't know if that was there or if my children have already done that, because I would not put it past them at all to do that. The only other minor thing that bothers me is that the sunroof rattles a little bit. Something in there rattles a little bit. So I've been told it's pretty common to have like leaking sunroofs, and people say don't ever open them. So far I haven't had those issues, but anticipate them, so we'll have to look out for that. Here's a little scuff there as well in the paint. I also noticed I get a little bit of moisture inside my headlights. So far nothing but cosmetic issues, no real problem at all. For me at least, I don't mind. We are working to come up with some really cool mods on this thing. I haven't quite decided what I want to do. I have a set of 37-inch KM3 BFG KM3 tires in the barn. As it stands right now, they won't fit on there. But you could put them on there and you could trim a little bit, but if you were to like go off a big jump or something, you'd blow your fenders out, and I don't want to do that. I'm not sure that I want to do aftermarket fenders like I did on the Tacoma or fiberglass. That was kind of a nightmare, and I don't know if I really want to lift it or any of that yet either, but I do want it to be unique and special. What are you doing? Dogs. I want it to be a build, so we'll see. Typically speaking, I just need to drive it around stock for a while, and I would like to make some videos about just how the stock Raptor does, you know, in comparison to a fully built Toyota Tacoma. So that is it for that. Today I have a few chores. If you guys want to come along, I gotta bust the tractor out, dig a little hole for Desiree, and I might after that go for a little flight on the paramotor. So stick around. What you doing? What's that? Oh, is that cool? Drugs. Oh. I need to clean up this Tacoma and this driveway. Filthy, like my wife. What? She's a dirty girl. The Tacoma.
Got you.
Ah! Knock it off. You stay away from my trucks with that thing. Leave me alone. He put a big old dent in my Tacoma the other day. I think he hit it with a broomstick. Sterling, no, back up with that thing. You stay away from the Raptor. You will live outside. Yeah, I need to find camera batteries, and we're gonna go dig a hole with the tractor. And I don't know if I can fly today. We got some weather moving in, got some wind, a little too windy already. Man, I miss flying. I haven't flown in a while. We tried to fly in Bend. I crashed on takeoff. Ugh, sucks. So Des is currently plotting out her garden, and I'm plotting out my driveway. It'd be so sick to have asphalt all the way in. I mean, that would just make such a difference here, but there's no way we can afford that. So we're planning gravel, and even gravel is gonna be really, really expensive because it's a ton of gravel. I would like to, ideally, I'd like to pour gravel inside the barn too. So sort of like the whole driveway, all of this space, all the way around over there, and then all in here. So that is a massive, massive amount of gravel, but it would make such a big difference because, you know, you get the tiniest bit of water in here and it just sticks to your boots and ends up in your car. And so that's why we never park our cars in here, which would be the right thing to do and be nice. We'd like to get this to be like a big secure storage area with doors and all of that, but it needs a roof, it needs a floor, it has needs, it has lots of needs. This thing is jumpy. I love it. You just go straight back to coloring. Oh, I'm so terrible with this thing. Your wheelbarrow's tire popped? Dang, you're having a bad day. You broke your shovel. Tire popped, it's starting to rain. Your husband can't even dig a hole with a tractor. Struggling. I'm so sad.
Oh no.
I was honestly just trying to scrape the top off, and I ended up digging way down and just making a mess. This is why we need a back blade, hun. I can't like just scrape the top layer off with the bucket. It doesn't work like that. You got it. Keep pushing. She wants that peach tree. You got to work for it. Honestly, the soil looks pretty good here.
I'm still.
Sterling, what do we do to our yard?
I just want to walk and do my thing.
Yeah.
Sure.
Dig a hole, dig a hole. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section below if you think we made a good move, if it was a dumb move, if it makes sense for us. Another big thing, I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but if we had tried to save up for a Raptor, we might have been able to get one in like 3 more years or something, new or slightly used. But by getting a rebuilt title, we're able to buy one while these trucks are still relevant. And then of course we'll be able to make footage with it and hopefully make a little bit of money by making videos, which will pay for itself. We just want it to pay for itself. That's pretty much all we want it to do. So make sure if you're not subscribed, you subscribe. It helps out a ton. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. That is actually what makes YouTube's algorithm take the video higher and higher and higher and show it to even more of my audience. A lot of my audience doesn't even see it unless you guys hit that thumbs up button. So thanks so much. Get some work done this week, but don't forget to live.